Right now, beneath your feet, there is silence. While you rush to work or meet friends for coffee or run for the bus, just a few meters below the pavement, time has stopped completely. Imagine standing in a place where the last train left over 50 years ago, where a poster on the wall still advertises a play from 1934, where the air is thick with dust and the only sound is the slow drip, drip, drip of water. You might be walking directly over one of these places right now, and you would never even know it. Welcome to the hidden world under our streets. Let's descend into the dark together. We like to think we know our cities, don't we? We know the landmarks, the shortcuts, the best places to eat. But a city is like an iceberg. We only see the top bit, the bit that's meant to be seen. Underneath cities like London, Glasgow, and forgotten corners of the British rail network, there is a whole other world, a network of what we call ghost stations. It sounds spooky, doesn't it? And in a way, it is. These are stations that were built, used by thousands of people every day, and then abandoned, shut down, sealed off from the public eye. Some were closed because they were too close to another station, some because not enough people used them, and others, well, others have darker reasons. But they didn't just vanish. The tiles are still on the walls, the platforms are still there, they're just waiting in the dark. Let's start in Mayfair, one of the most expensive parts of London. Between Green Park and Hyde Park Corner, there lies a secret. If you look closely at the buildings on Down Street, you might notice something odd about one of the facades. It doesn't quite look like a shop. It doesn't quite look like a house. That's because it's the entrance to Down Street Station. It closed in 1932 because, believe it or not, the wealthy people who lived there didn't like taking the tube. They preferred taxis. So the station sat empty. But then the war came. While bombs were falling on London during the Blitz, this abandoned little station found a new purpose. It became a bunker, not just for anyone, but for Winston Churchill himself. Before the cabinet war rooms were finished, the Prime Minister would hide down there, deep in the old tunnels, dining on fine food and vintage wine, while the city burned above him. Can you imagine that? The train still rushing past on the tracks nearby, the drivers seeing a flash of light from a platform that wasn't supposed to exist, not knowing the most powerful man in Britain was sitting right there. Then there is the Strand, or as it became later, Aldwych. This one is famous, even if you've never been there. You've probably seen it in movies. Whenever a film director needs a creepy, old-fashioned tube station for a horror movie or a spy thriller, they go to Aldwych. It sits at the end of a line that went nowhere. It was never really busy, just a lonely little spur of track. When it closed in 1994, it was like they just turned the lights off and left. If you went down there today, you'd see old advertisements peeling off the curved walls, advertisements for stockings and cigarettes that haven't been sold for decades. There's a heavy feeling in Aldwych. It feels watched. There are stories, of course. There always are with places like this. Engineers who work on the tracks at night talk of seeing figures at the end of the platform. An actress who haunts the tunnels, smelling of old perfume. Is it true? Or is it just what happens to your mind when you're 50 meters underground in total silence? But London doesn't have a monopoly on secrets. Let's go north, to Glasgow. Glasgow has a subway system too, the third oldest in the world. They call it the Clockwork Orange because the trains are bright orange and go in a circle. But beneath the botanical gardens, there lies a station that nature is trying to take back. Botanic Gardens Station. It's been closed since the start of the Second World War. For a long time, if you looked through the metal grills in the park, you could see the platforms below. It was like a grave for a railway, a grave for a railway. The roof was soot-blackened from the old steam trains. It was a beautiful, eerie ruin right beneath the feet of people walking their dogs. Eventually, after a fire, the platforms were mostly removed, but the space is still there, a hollow cavity in the earth. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? How many times have you walked through a park or driven over a bridge, completely unaware of the cavern beneath you? Let's pause for a moment. I want you to close your eyes, just for a second. Imagine we have a key, a heavy, rusted iron key. We unlock a nondescript grey door on a busy street. We step inside and we close the door against the noise of the traffic. Suddenly, the roar of the city is gone. We walk down a spiral staircase, down and down. The air gets colder. It smells metallic, like brake dust and damp earth. We step onto the platform. It's pitch black, so we turn on a torch. The beam of light cuts through the darkness. It catches the dust motes dancing in the air. The silence is heavy. It presses against your ears. It's not just empty space, it's a time capsule. You see a newspaper on a bench, yellow and crumbling. The headline is from 1958. A discarded ticket lies on the floor. It feels like the passengers just vanished. It's peaceful in a way, but it's also deeply lonely. These places were built for movement, for noise, for crowds. Without people, they feel wrong. They feel like they're holding their breath, waiting for a train that will never arrive. But here's the twist. Not all ghost stations are dead. Some are just sleeping, and some are living a double life. You see, in a crowded country like Britain, space is precious, even underground space. Some of these tunnels are used for emergency planning. If something terrible were to happen in the city, these are the escape routes. Others are used for ventilation, pumping fresh air into the lines that are still running. You might feel a warm breeze coming from a grate in the pavement on a cold winter day. That's the breath of the underground. And some are used for things we're not supposed to know about. Secure document storage, internet cables, secret archives. There are miles of tunnels under London that don't appear on any standard map. The post office railway, for example, a whole network of driverless trains that used to carry mail beneath the streets, totally separate from the passenger tube. It shut down in 2003. Now, it's mostly silent, but who really knows what goes on down there in the dark? Most of us will live our entire lives without ever seeing these places. They are the forbidden zones, the spaces in between. So, the next time you're waiting for a train and you stare out of the window into the blackness of the tunnel, look closely. You might just see the flash of old white tiles, an archway leading nowhere, a ghost station. It's a reminder that nothing lasts forever. Our busy lives, our noise, our rushing about, one day it will all just be history, gathering dust in the dark. The city has secrets. It keeps them deep down, under the concrete and the clay, and it keeps them very, very quiet. Thank you for exploring the underground with me today. If you enjoyed this journey into the dark and you want to uncover more forgotten history, please do click the like button. It really helps. And tell me in the comments, would you be brave enough to spend a night in a ghost station, or do you prefer to stay above ground? Subscribe if you're curious. There are many more stories to tell. Until next time, mind the gap.